All right, guys, thank you very much for coming today. We really enjoyed having all of you here. But yeah, so really we wanted to take the time to recognize two of our corporate partners today. In order for us to really work with these corporations and startups, it takes a joint effort between the champions within the internal innovation teams at these organizations. And so first off, we'd like to highlight TFS, Toyota Financial Services. So I'm going to play a quick video, but before I do that, I just want to talk about the scope of this relationship. Really stems down to working with 3 different teams. So we've been working with them in Plano, Texas, in Japan, and then also in Frankfurt, Germany. And really the kind of cause and effect of this relationship has been phenomenal. And I'll have Hugo speak a little bit more about it. But him and I have worked closely together for the past 3 months to basically put together what we've called the Toyota Innovation Startup Summit. And what that allowed Toyota to do was to really sit down with individual business units and describe key pain points within their industry, within their problem sets, and then allow them to reverse engineer, to reverse pitch with these business units and startups identifying a problem. And so with that, we're super excited to have Hugo here today. And so we're going to show a quick video of what we did with those business units and then invite Hugo up to share a few words.
We need to inspire our own people to think differently, and I think these startups that Plug and Play brings to the table will allow us to start our impossible.
Looking at the world today, if we do not move quick, we will not be here tomorrow.
This is the start. This is not the event of the goal. This is the event of the start of our collaboration.
This was extremely different than any of the other events we've ever been to.
To see, the CEO of financial services sitting there and all these senior people and the teams asking questions, engaging with these companies, and even being interested in setting up an event like this, it shows that it's not marketing talk.
It is fantastic to see such a great organization embrace the culture of entrepreneurship and startup.
I've never seen people rally in so much excitement at Toyota. I think it demonstrates how serious we are about innovation and becoming a leader as opposed to a fast follower.
Toyota is such an enormous global company. It would be almost impossible for a person or a group of people to really keep their pulse across manufacturing and operations and IT and software.
Plug and Play allows us to work together with startups and has enabled us to identify pain points or opportunities that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to find solutions for.
The goal of the Plug and Play Toyota Financial Services relationship is to really allow startups to understand how TFS works and allow Toyota to look into the future using and working with startups.
We are excited to work with startups because it gives us exposure to a lot of the best thinking that's out there.
These are people that have an outside view and have a different perspective. And by taking that perspective and that passion will really invigorate your business.
It's an opportunity for a win-win. If we can show the partnership, if we can find some entrepreneurs, if we can find some solutions, we can get it to market, we build up the capability to get there faster, and the others get to win with their solutions and their expertise.
My advice to everyone would be embrace the startups, embrace the new ideas, embrace the challenges that they help us solve, embrace the people who bring creative ideas and can help motivate our people. And every other company should be doing the same thing.
So really all this buzz is great, right? It's a start, but when Hugo comes up and speaks today, he's going to talk about the result of this program, what we're moving towards, and what we're doing with these startups that actually worked with TFS in terms of piloting, in terms of moving forward with the business units. I probably speak to Hugo more than he does his wife, so we're on the phone pretty often. Yeah, I'd love to welcome up Hugo. We just presented the award last week to the global CEO, so we don't have the physical plaque today because we were in Japan last week. But thank you very much, TFS, and Hugo, I'd love to welcome you guys up. Thank you. Give him a round of applause. Thank you, Wilson.
All right, thank you, Matt. So good morning, good afternoon, team Plug and Play and corporate partners and startups. So my name is Hugo. I'm from Toyota Financial Services. So once again, thank you, Saeed, and also the Fintech team for the very honorable hours, corporate innovation hours. So I still remember back to the summer summit for the mobility badge, which is on there in the June or July, that our chief officer, Mr. Tomimoto, came up to the stage and announced our global partnership with the Plug and Play. So it's been only 5 months partner with the Plug and Play. And when I received the news from Matt, okay, we won the hours. And then I asked Matt, is this something like a rookie of the year for the Fintech batch? And he said, oh, no, this is more for reward for the corporate doing something innovative. So as you saw the movie today, that's what we do. And also I would like to share a short story about how we came up with this idea. And also, Saeed kindly visited our headquarters last week, and we had just exactly the same event in Japan. And before the meeting between our global CEO, Mr. Fukutome, and then Saeed, Mr. Fukutome asked me, okay, Hugo, congratulations. And how honorable is this? And I said, I think it's very honorable. So I think this is a very great for the TFS, even we have only a very short experience in innovation space. And now I would like to share with you a little bit about the innovation journey together with Plug and Play by describing with the 3 keywords. So I call it like a 3 I's. So I number 1 is imitate. So our team is only established in 2016. Only 3 years experience with a very small team within TFS. So we need to learn from our corporate partner how the OEMs and the banks are doing to accelerate the corporate innovation. And also we learn from we listen to the people and we meeting lots of startups, what the expectation for the corporate from a startup point of view. So we spent a couple months on the imitation learning phase, and next, I number 2 is to improve. So we as a Toyota has a DNA of a Kaizen, which is a continuous improvement. So after learning a lot of initiatives by corporate, we want to make a better services or a better program together with Plug and Play. So we came up with the idea, okay, maybe my role will be the catalyst between the business unit and also the startups. But why can we have a more engagement for the business unit, who will be our potential internal customer together with startups? So I start to have an internal communication and also buy-in from the executives saying, okay, we need a business unit who will be the owner of a program to participate in our program called the Toyota Startup Summit from the beginning, so that they will feel the more ownership and also the commitment. So as a result, within 5 months, as Matt mentioned, we have already implemented in the US and Japan and Europe in the next years. And so far, the result of this program in the US, we are having several pilots already planned within this fiscal year, and more we have also in Japan as well. So I think within very limited short time, we have seen a good result so far. So my role will be to make sure embracing those business units and also startups to deliver for the commercialization, not only for the POC or proof of value. So I think that's how we have already implemented with the Plug and Play. And since this corporate innovation award is not for the rookies, we want to make more better services. So the number 3 number 3 is to innovate. So we are still learning phase. We don't know whether this is a right approach or not. So we will challenge Plug and Play to improve our program together with them, how we can accelerate the corporate innovation. So as a closing, we will continue this program for the next batch. So hopefully I will come back on the stage and getting the two consecutive hours for the corporate innovation. So we are very hungry for the innovation and hungry for the result. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Hugo. So next up, I'd really like to take a moment to really look at a very unique partnership which was formed about a year ago. We've been working with these folks on a high level, and really the reason why we wanted to take a minute to recognize them today is because they've actually gotten involved on a very large scale. So we work directly with a firm called RSM, very large consulting firm. And basically what we've done with them is we've taken the approach of working with folks across the US to establish relationships with their partners and with their staff and to connect them with startups. And one thing that was very unique about this relationship is as they've been involved with Plug and Play, they've actually created an initiative to promote Jeff to Chief Strategy Officer, who's a gentleman who's been in the firm for a very long time. And one thing that's very unique about this is they've positioned themselves to actually engage many folks within the firm to work with our deal flow sessions, to work with our selection days and expos in order to not only bring startups internally to their clients, but also to engage outward as well. And so they also have brought on Brad, who's been leading the initiative directly with us in our Plug and Play team. He's been very instrumental in getting people involved, and so this really award encompasses the amount of folks that have engaged, the number of startups that they've met, and really the global scale too. We've got folks today like Peter Brady coming in from their New York office, and then we also have got the West Coast presence as well with Tim out here. So I'm pretty excited because their whole financial steering committee is here, and it's been a great relationship so far. And the reason why I chose to really make an impact and push them forward to this award is for them to actually continue this effort. So it's really just the start, and I'd like to grow it and continue it with them as well. So with that, I'd like to call up Brad and his colleagues to come up here and accept the award. Thank you. And they actually get a physical award, unlike TFS. Theirs is in Japan. And Brad will say a few words, and yes, thank you very much, Brad.
Thank you, Matt. And thank you to Plug and Play. As Matt mentioned, this is really just the beginning of our relationship. And much like the gentleman from TFS mentioned, that for us it was really an opportunity for us to open our eyes and really see what different ways people are innovating and what different technologies are being applied inside corporations. For us, it's not just a way for us to see how we can help digitally transform our firm, but it's also a way for us to think about how can we then bring these technologies to our clients. So we really thank Plug and Play for putting this platform together, and thank you to Matt for helping us think about how we can continue to stretch and evolve the relationship. Matt's been really innovative in his thinking with regard to, it's not just about having a few select individuals from the firm come out and interact with Plug and Play and the startups. You can see here the entire team. This is just a segment of our National Fintech Steering Committee. So we're even leveraging Plug and Play to help us shape our perspective as we go to market and determine how the evolution of this space is taking shape. So I happen to be the person talking, but really there's a number of individuals here and others that aren't present. Jim Greisch here, quick wave. Jim was really responsible for starting the relationship with Bob Jacobson, and then Tim Tiefenthaler here followed closely. And then the other individuals on the stage were very quick to jump in and really support the effort. So thank you to Plug and Play, Matt, and the entire team. I'm looking forward to continuing to grow the relationship.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Yes. Yeah. It's funny because some of these guys I haven't seen here for a while, and Peter Brady, actually, I initially saw him and hadn't recognized him, and It's good to see them back here in the U.S. Or out here in Silicon Valley. So with that, thank you very much, and we're going to hand it back over to Evan. But those are the two companies that we'd like to highlight today. So thank you.
All right, let's hear it again for Toyota and RSM, great innovators in the space. All right, now the moment all the startups have been waiting for. It's the People's Choice Award, and the people have spoken, and they agree that David from Peanut Butter is the People's Choice startup today. Let's hear it for him. And we don't have a nice plaque for you, but we do have a set of AirPods, so just as good, right? All right, let's hear it for him. Thank you. So another great moment. One of my favorite things about these events is we get to have our CEO come and speak. He's the whole reason why this exists and why we get to welcome you guys. So let's hear it for Saeed Hamidi, our CEO.
Thank you so much, Evan. As RSM team, I think you guys are a bigger group than us, no. But I would love the Fintech team to come up as I am talking. It's really, I wanted to emphasize that this innovation platform, it's really yours, everybody in this room. And we would love to have you tell us what we should focus on in the future. Like specifically in Stuttgart, every 6 months, we choose 5 key areas that Mercedes, Porsche, ZF is interested in. And we search the world to solve those 5 problems. So today, I really urge all of our corporate partners, the startups that are in the room, to guide us what we should focus on the next batch. And we will listen to your request and make sure we do that. The other point I wanted to make is I saw there were great startups presenting, but something else that we are doing, because I just came back from Japan and last month I was in Frankfurt, we are going to bring to Plug and Play platform later stage startups. We have done that with our insurance vertical or supply chain. And quite frankly, one of the supply chain vertical had raised $100 million, which usually would not pitch in an event like this. But we feel if you're going to implement in 3 continents with 3 large banks, if you have 100 people in your startup, it is still a startup to a large global bank. So next time you come here, you will see about 30% of our startup be late and growth stage. Let me show a hand. Do you guys think that's a good idea? Hallelujah. Thank you. So then the last is this afternoon, we have a really interesting group of startup for cybersecurity. I would say cybersecurity has become an agenda item in every board meeting. And again, little Plug and Play, we were hacked 2 months ago. And now I really would like these companies this afternoon to solve my problem. Because if we are hacked, imagine what a bank or a financial institution has to go through. But the team is growing every day. They work really hard, they tell me, to set this up. And again, thanks to you guys. I'm proud of being part of the team. Thank you.